Ramzi Yusuf, he thought he was arrested because he tried to kill me. So he was very surprised that he was actually arrested because he'd attacked the World Trade Towers. And so too, Osama bin Laden in 1989 gave $10 million to my opponents to throw me out of office. So Washington and the PPP have common enemies. And the reason we have common enemies, because in my view, this is a battle between values. There are people who are fanatics, who are bigots, and they have different values to the rest of us who want to create a world where there is tolerance and pluralism and gender equality. My country, Pakistan, is an example of a nation where the forces of tyranny, terrorism, proliferation, and a marginal yet militant interpretation of Islam mingle to create an extraordinarily dangerous challenge to move forward. And something that gives me a great degree of satisfaction is that in 1988, when Rajiv Gandhi and I decided to work together to bring Pakistan and India closer, to bring all of South Asia closer, I was called a security risk by my political opponents and by the military. We did not know that these schools had been set up because they were set up by the intelligence services of our country, and then they were privatized. They were just given over to religious leaders with endowments of their own, and they were functioning below the radar screen. It was only, as I mentioned earlier, that Ramzi Yusuf was arrested by my government, and our authorities found out he tried to kill me, so they became interested in tracking his routes, and they found out about the political madrasas. And at that time we clamped down on them, and we said that you cannot teach hate. You cannot go around saying kill the Christians, kill the Jews, kill the Shias, kill everybody who's a non-Muslim. And any university or school that does that, we'll shut them down.
I have one further comment. We all pray to the same Lord. I don't know why there's so much fighting in this world. Christians, Jews, Muslims, all pray to the same Lord. Why is this? I just don't understand.
I agree with you. I think the people who do this are not really following the tenets of Islam. I agree totally with you. And I believe that such schools should be shut down that teach hate. And my government shut down the Islamic University of Peshawar because it was teaching hate. And after we shut down the Peshawar as the university, the other schools fell into line. But after the overthrow of my government, unfortunately, the schools began to revert back to their message of hate. People who were young children, and they're still being trained. I mean, recently there was a school that was bombed in Bajor Agency. Yes, it was a school, but the tragedy is that young children from 10, 11, 12 are still being recruited from poverty-stricken areas and being brainwashed to grow up and become fighters. So within Islam, there is this battle that what does the future of Muslim countries hold? Are we going to go back to the past? Or are we going to build a society within the values for the future, which are universal values? Because Islam is part of the Abrahamic tradition. In Islam, the prophets of Judaism, the prophets of Christianity are all the prophets of Islam. So I hope that it's the moderates who succeed within the Muslim world. I learned never to give in when something seemed formidable or impossible. I found myself in prison. I was imprisoned for almost 6 years. And when I was freed, I found it difficult at first to talk or smile. My face muscles had atrophied during long years of solitary confinement. But I never gave up my struggle or my commitment for a democratic Pakistan.